Welcome to another episode of Sneaker Convo. I am your host with the most, in Gary we trust. As you guys know, Gary. And I'm back at it again with another guest host. This is a very special one because this is definitely someone that definitely motivates me in the SKEAKER-TUBE of the world. We got the homie Tim, man. What's up?
What's up? I'm happy to be here, bro, and honored to be the second guest host on this show. So I'm really excited about this one.
Of course, man. Of course, bro. I want to say first before we even really start, I want to appreciate you for coming on set. When you hit me up a couple days ago saying that, hey, yo, man, I'm going to be in town. I really want to be on set. And then I was like, damn, I really want to just record every 2 weeks. But it's like, how often is Tim going to be in town? So I'm like, you know what? I gotta have him on the show.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Came into town for a couple of days. Show some love. I had to pull up. I had to. It was a must.
Of course, man. Let's get right into it, man. Let's do the fit breakdown. How about guess first, break down your fit. Tell the people what you got on.
All right, so a pretty light fit because it's been a pretty busy day for me, traveling wise. So, I just got the RIP Juice WRLD, one of my favorite artists of all time, right here, the Vlone collab. Zara pants, really recommend these cargo pants. And then probably one of my favorite sneakers in my collection. I know it's a newer release, so I'm not going to call them a grail just yet. But the 2002 R Protection Pack, I know people say Rain Cloud, a couple different names for this pair. Pretty light fit.
Breaking down my fit, as you guys can see, I've been watching a little too much BMF lately. And like the show is based in kind of like the 80s and they've been wearing a lot of tracksuits. So that's where I kind of got my inspiration for today. So the essential Apple Watch that I got on, I have on a vintage 90s Nike windbreaker. I do have a Billionaire Boys Club Chinese New Year's t-shirt.
Okay.
And another thing, I have vintage Tommy Hilfiger track pants. And yeah, what can I say about this shoe, man? This is one of the most basic-looking sneakers, but one of the most hardest sneakers to find, at least in Air Max world.
Yep.
This is the Air Max 98 Gundam. And I actually have a quick story about this shoe, not even through my experience, is that my homie told me, Ant?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he told me he went down to Kith, and apparently Kith was the only place maybe in Florida to receive a pair. So he went down there, and there was a long-ass line. There was probably 20 to 30 people, and then he's like, ain't no way I'm getting the shoe. And then he's asking people in line, yo, what are you in line for? I'm like, I'm here for the Gundams. And people ask him what he's in line for. He's like, yo, I'm here for the Gundams. And then he's asking them, like, oh, we're here for the bread toe ones. Apparently they released them the same day.
Damn.
Had no clue. So he copped these for retail. And then for some reason these go for like $400 to $500. And a size 10 is so hard to find. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, the Air Max 98 is like one of my favorite. I mean, for me, I think it's kind of slept on because not a lot of people wear Air Max 98s. And honestly, I find a lot of them at the outlets. And
yeah,
I go to the outlets all the time. And I mean, obviously not this pair, but like more GR pairs and stuff like that. But I've bought so many pairs of 98s for like $50, $40 because just with that discount, sometimes you're on the back wall. And then shout out to the Nike plug. You know who you are. Always coming through with that extra, 30 or 40 friends and family discount as well. So
yeah,
Air Max 98s are fire.
They're cool. They're just not comfortable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can definitely see that for sure.
All right, so getting into some sneaker drops. January is usually like a slow month because it's usually slow like everywhere. There's like not a lot of stuff usually coming out. But February is usually like the hot month because it's All-Star Weekend. Everybody wants to look fly for the game. There's a lot of parties. And it's Valentine's Day, too. So Jordan, Nike, actually every sneaker brand is planning on, like, we need to make some type of dope-looking shoe so you can, like, buy it for your significant other.
Yeah.
So, like, the first shoe that came to mind when I thought about, like, February drops was the Air Jordan 4 Craft, which comes out February 11th. So I'm going to give my opinion on this shoe first. I think this shoe I wouldn't say I would buy to keep. I'm honestly, call me reseller. I'll buy it just to resell because when I see that shoe, I'm thinking I'd rather just have the Cool Gray 4.
Yeah, 100%.
And the reason why I say that too, not that I think that the Cool Gray 4 is a better shoe, because the Jordan 4 Craft is a dope looking sneaker. But how long I've been in the game, not saying I'm like one of the craziest OGs or anything, but I've been collecting shoes since 2011, and I've seen a lot throughout that time. And I just feel like this shoe doesn't do nothing for me personally, but I know TikTokers are going to love this shoe.
Air Jordan 4 is the new Air Jordan 1.
Exactly. What's your opinion on this shoe?
All right, so for the craft, I know Jordan Brand is doing like the Air Jordan 1 craft, 3, 4, 5. I think I've seen up to 1 through 5 so far. It's expected to drop in 2023. It's definitely a pass for me. Right now, I'm being super selective on what I really buy, and actually like some deep down like soul searching on like what I want in the collection. So that's just a pass for me. Now, if you tell me I can make $100 off of it, even like $75 off of it, I'm gonna enter the Nike raffle. Maybe go to my Foot Locker Finish Line if they do drop at a retail shop like that. I might go pick it up, scoop it, make the quick little $50, $75 flip, and use that $50 to go get something I really want. But I mean, it's dope. I like that Jordan Brand is trying different things. I know it has a way different material on there. I know it is like a tint of gray-ish to it, tannish to it. Some might say that. But I mean, it's an okay shoe. But for me, I'm sticking for this year specifically. I'm trying to stick to all like OGs or stuff that resonated with me during my high school time.
Yeah, I say that to myself too, and then I see then my pocket starts burning, and I'm like, you know what? I need something to wear for this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it usually works. So, another sneaker that's coming out on February 15th is going to be the Air Jordan 1 Black and White 85 OG, which is going to be called the Hype Beast, the better version of the Panda. Hey, all I'm gonna say is, count me in. I don't care how many black and white sneakers are out there. This shoe is gonna be an automatic cop for me. The quality, I saw it doesn't look the greatest, but retail, this sneaker is gonna be in my collection because I know I'm gonna wear this with everything, and I feel like this is the shoe that's gonna separate the men from the boys, in my personal opinion.
Oh no, I can definitely see that because it's a Panda. I know a lot of people hate when I call it that. They say, how is like someone being in the sneaker game for 15 plus years like myself, you're gonna call that a Panda? I mean, I call it a Panda to get under people's skin, the engagement. But I mean, you saw the popularity of the Panda. You saw how good that was doing. It's just super versatile. I own a pair of Panda Dunks. I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's not gonna be in my collection. I've hit on maybe 7, 8 pairs of Panda Dunks, and that's a quick $100 flip, turning them out. So I mean, the shoe is gonna sell out. Obviously, it's Air Jordan 1 High, and I think it might be the 85 cut. I don't know if that is true or not, but I think it's the 85 cut. But no, I'm definitely gonna go after it. Just for the resale purpose, I'm gonna be out there. I'm not a reseller, but when I can make some money, I will go after it for that and get the review out for you guys.
I'm not gonna say I hate the shoe, but I just think the shoe is way too overhyped. It's the Tom Sachs general purpose sneaker, the all brown one. That one is releasing on February 5th. You guys know me. This is not even a resell I'm not buying it. I'm not copying it. I'm not reselling it. I'm just flat out skipping this sneaker. I don't think this sneaker needs to be in the culture. That's just my personal opinion. What's your take?
Hey, listen, I totally agree with you. Not one of my favorite models. The white ones or the cream ones, the OG ones were good. Then they had the yellow ones that dropped at Kohl's. Brown one, they're trying to tap in maybe to like that Travis audience, the people that like the brown on the shoe. But for me, that's a pass. And I don't think there's even any resale or much resale on that pair. So let somebody else have it.
I don't even think that sneaker is just generally pleasing because there's going to be, I feel like that sneaker a year or two from now, no one's going to care about that shoe. Because I know everyone's trying to get on the Tom Sachs hype is that, yes, the original, the 2.0, the 1.0s go for like $4 or $5 now, possibly even more. But the fact is that you guys try to microwave something out to give to the public and everyone's trying to put a resale value on it. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. You can fool me once with the 1.0 and the 2.0, but you can't fool me on this one. That's just how I look at it.
Hey, might we say React 87 Elements? How everyone was on the cream pair and the black pair.
Y'all thought that sneaker was really sneaker of the year. What was that 2019 or?
I think Complex and a lot of people voted it. Yeah, around that time. Sneaker of the year. So
that's when everyone wanted to be a track star.
Hey, we might see the GPS shoe might just turn out to be the 2022 or 2023 Nike React 87s.
Exactly. So the last sneaker that's coming out this month that caught my eye, it's the Air Jordan 1 AJKO Low, the Union and Jordan 1 collab. I know that's a mouthful, but it took a couple takes just to say that. But looking at this sneaker, if I'm able to get it for retail, I would cop it because one, I love Union. It's one of my favorite black-owned brands right now, and every time I see Union do like a sneaker, I can see the thought in it. I do see that they do some like oddball colorways that go against the grain, but I appreciate it. I think they're trying something new. It's something of a breath of fresh air, and that's one of the sneakers where it's like you see someone wear it, and it's gonna be like, oh, okay, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those
You're
sneakers.
tapped in, basically. I mean, I think it's cool. They have the reverse interchangeable swoosh with the Velcro. I think they have a blue pair and I think a gray pair that comes stock with it. Personally, for me, I'm just not the fan of a KO, Air Jordan 1 KO. And
understand.
low tops, it's a pass just for me.
One quick question I wanted to ask you is that is there a silhouette you think, any new silhouette, not really new silhouette, but what sneaker or silhouette is going to take over 2023 that's going to catch everyone by surprise?
Catch everyone by surprise.
Because I think last year, the Gazelle really took a different leap last year when it came to the Adidas and Gucci collab.
Yeah, that definitely did put it in a new stratosphere. I mean, to be honest with you, the trends right now, what new model? I don't know. I think it's going to be mainly Dunks, Jordan 4s, Jordan 1s heavy. But what new model? I don't know. I think a dope model. I always bring it back to like Nike basketball time, and I know this is not a Nike basketball shoe, but like the LaMelo Ball, he's been coming out with some cool Puma basketball sneakers.
Because I like the two different shoe combo. It just makes the sneaker community fun again.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got to remember,
times.
it's for the kids.
Right? Exactly. You look good on the court. You play good. You feel good. You look good. You play good.
I like that take.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Because obviously Nike basketball is in like in a weird world right now without Kyrie. So
yeah, exactly.
For now, at least. But I think one sneaker, and I definitely have to say it out. I can't even remember the full name. One shoe that I think that's really going to get a lot of love this year is going to be like the Solomon of the XT6. I think that shoe is going to like take a different leap this year. And what actually really sold me on this sneaker, I was actually talking to the homie Sean. And like he told me that, yo, Gary, I think you should buy a pair. And I'm like, I don't know. That looks kind of like more outdoorish. It looks kind of like if you go hiking or some shit.
Yeah, hiking.
But like he told me something like, bro, it rains in Florida like every day. I think that'd be a perfect shoe for you. And I'm like, had me thinking different.
Yeah. The Solomon, I have seen a lot of love, especially from like Joe LaPuma. He wears that a lot, and I know. I mean, obviously, a lot of people wear it, but I have seen that quite often on my timeline on Instagram and TikTok. But now that we're talking about it, I think this is an older model, but I think that the Nike Vomero, they had a recent release. I think this month.
That shoe's been getting
month.
A lot of love lately.
Yeah, I think that shoe as a Nike runner. I think that might be, maybe we get some cool colorways, some collabs maybe this year. I haven't heard any rumors yet. So.
I don't know what it is, but when I see that sneaker, I think it only looks good on women.
Oh, for real? No.
I don't know, because like, a lot of women, because the way how women dress aesthetically, it's like when a woman wears like leggings like really tight, and then they have the shoe like showing a lot. Yeah. I just think it just aesthetically makes more sense. I just haven't seen a guy pull them off in a way where it's like, oh, they look cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's for me is more like an everyday shoe, something comfortable, throw it on.
Getting into some sneaker headlines is that one big news bomb drop, even though I don't know when I'll be dropping this episode, but Nike is suing Bape.
I mean, I thought this would have been a long time ago. They've been putting out Air Force One dupes or whatever you want to call it for... late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s. If I'm like about to like pull up this list here, is that, man, the thing is like I knew there was some smoke in the air with Nike and Bape because like first of all, you've seen Nike collab with Supreme all the time, Nike collabs with Stussy, all these brands, but Bape never got no love. And I always figured it's like maybe because Bape rips a lot of the shit that Nike makes. So then I realized is that Bape, first of all, they could have stopped at the Air Force One Low, which is the most iconic model
the Bapestas, right?
in the sneaker community, and plus you have the Bapestas. But then they kind of took it a step further when they started making the one that looks like the Jordan 1 and the one that looks like their own version of a Dunk. And it blatantly looks like a Dunk because they have damn near the same midsole. So I'm not surprised at it. One question I do have, do you think that like that lawsuit will come to Nigo in any way, shape, or form, even though he's not with Bape anymore?
Now, with that, I mean, I don't know. Nike has extreme reach, so they might try to grab everybody that's ever been associated with it. But, I mean, I think this all started with, like, Warren Lotus, and then we had all the other ones, John Geiger, and then a whole bunch of other, like, I mean, I wouldn't say smaller, but, like, not as popular, Nike rips. Maybe this was just maybe they went after Warren Lotus and John Geiger and all the other guys exactly for the Air Jordan 1 right that they were doing.
Yeah,
maybe they were testing out if this lawsuit, if this method worked at the smaller level. And then they were like, okay, we're going to take over the giant because, like, you know, with Bape, they're like, let's test this out. Okay, we were able to get these guys to stop, these guys to change this, that. Okay, now we have a precedent set. So then when they do go to the courtroom, they're like, we took these guys to court the following, you know, past couple of years. And now we have a precedent set that, like, yo, you got to follow this code. You guys ruled this way for these guys. So now you have to rule it for Bape, maybe their most worthy adversary of, you know, competition-wise when it comes to that.
I hear you. Like, it's when I heard this article, it's like, is it kind of too late? Do people care? Is this really gonna affect Bape as a brand? Because there's certain points when they drop like when I say like the basically their own version of the dunk. You have the Jordan 1, their version is the Courtsta High. That's the one where it's a blatant Jordan 1 ripoff, and then they have like their own version of the Skatesta, which is blatantly you're like a SB. It's like
the name. It's
like you're asking for it at this point.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
My issue when it comes to creativity and like with fashion brands, I just feel like the creativity is very low. And I'm not saying it's like it's bad to be inspired, but it's like I'm just tired of the people who are biting silhouettes, who are biting like brands. And it's like, oh, I just want to put my own version on it. And it's like, you're kind of want to repurpose. That word repurpose has been overused for the past 3 years. I'm just looking for creatives to actually create.
Yeah, no, I agree. When they say inspired by, whether it's a rep or it's a UA or it's a custom, you know, like with what the shoe surgeon does with his customs, you know, it's a slippery slope of if I take off the Nike check and then just add the Warren Lotus swoosh, whatever that was. It was a Jason Voorhees mask, I think, like turned into the swoosh. It's a slippery slope when they're trying to create sneakers like that. And just to play devil's advocate, I heard a lot of them say like, yo, it's super hard to make midsoles or get patents for certain shoes because
it's really expensive.
Nike owns all of them or Adidas owns all of them or, you know, stuff like that. So, I mean, I guess it is difficult, but then at that point, like, it's either come up with your own stuff or don't come up with anything then. Like, you know, like, kind of. That's how I feel.
Yeah, anything is possible, bro. Salehi made his own version of the Croc.
Honestly, from his thumb. He looked at his thumb and was like, this looks like a Croc.
To be honest, I think he could have got away without even collaborating with Crocs. But what's been pissing me off with these these inspired brands is that even the resale on replica sneakers is crazy. Like, not to bash Cool Kai and stuff, but it's like, fam, who's really spending $600 on your version of the Bread 1? I could use that same $600 and buy the actual pair. Does anyone stop and think about that?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's so much just like marketing and trends and what's in. So like they're like, yo, all my favorite rappers or all my favorite celebrities or this is the poppin' shoe right now. But yeah, I'd rather buy an original. I mean, you know my take on this whole thing. So I would rather buy the original. Yes.
Exactly. So like one more like headline that I'm surprised a lot of people are not talking about it, that East Bay is officially closed and Foot Action is officially closed.
Foot Action?
Foot Action, they closed like their last location, like I think earlier this year.
So like, there's no more Foot Action in the Boy Mall.
Nah, that's been gone.
That's been gone. I haven't been here for a couple
of years.
You're right.
I haven't been here for a couple of years. Action, yeah, that one was gone quick.
So damn, I knew East Bay. Definitely saddened by East Bay. I used to buy like just, I guess what they would call the terms bricks right now. You know, I would go on East Bay, see what's left over, and I would just buy here or there, whatever caught my eye at the time. Nothing crazy. I mean, I even bought a pair of Patrick Ewing's retros on East Bay when the Ewings were coming back out.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of a regrettable sneaker purchase there. I look like a astronaut walking in moon boots.
I'm sorry,
with those.
Ewing's is I love Patrick Ewing. He's a proud Jamaican. I'm sorry, it's not a good shoe.
It's really bulky. But yeah, East Bay is saddened, but dang, Foot Action. I didn't know that. So did someone buy them out or they just like went out of business? Oh, no.
I really don't know. It's just I guess they just went out of business. And one question I have, like what I've been thinking too, is it really because of the saturation of all these like consignment stores, resale shops? Does that play in a part? Because think about it. Because for people that don't know, I worked at Foot Action for about 4 years, and what I realized is that when Foot Action was open, when I was working at Foot Action, resale shops weren't really a thing as of yet. Because you had a Round 2 out in Miami that was technically one of the first ones, if I'm putting it out there.
Yeah.
And then Palm Beach started to have like 3 to 4 shops. Then I realized every mall has a resale shop in it. And then it's like, okay, then if I can buy a pair of Jordan 1s, I can buy Bape, I can buy Supreme, what am I going to get at Foot Action?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think they're trying to move like directly to consumer, you know.
They cut out the middleman.
Cut out the middleman. That's why I think Nike even pushing back like on mom and pop shops, you know, taking away stuff like that. But I think it's just the malls are dying. Like, it's a sad thing for me. Like, I grew up, I was born in 1994, so I grew up, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. You know, like, going to, like, the malls was, like, one, it had, like, all the stuff to buy because, obviously, we didn't have the internet. So, like, if you needed some new shoes, new clothing.
Met a lot of friends, too.
Yeah, and then you go there to meet people, and you go there to stunt. You know, you get the newest shoe, you go to the release, and you might have the older release. You go pick up that release with the older pair. Oh, did you get those? No, these are the 10 years ago I got these. You know, you go stunt at the mall. But that's kind of like done, like, you know, like social communication, interaction between humans, you know, in general. So, I mean, maybe just a lack of love for malls. Maybe Foot Action was like, let's get ahead of it before it bites us.
I honestly think that when it comes to corporate sneaker stores, I think the only one that's really going to stand is Foot Locker.
Yeah, I mean, it's a staple.
Because 9 times out of 10, like, how many people say, yo, I can't wait to go to Champs? The average person who doesn't care about sneakers, when they thinking of a sneaker store, Foot Locker.
Yeah.
Foot Locker. I worked at Foot Action. They're like, oh, you work at Foot Locker, right? So, like, I feel like I personally think that Foot Locker is going to be the last one standing out of all these stores.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. I know, like, we have, you know, Shoe Palace, which is kind of, I mean, I think it's newer because we haven't seen it.
Shoe Palace, Finish Line, I think all these places are going to go is really just going to be Foot Locker standing. And I'm not saying that because I'm not sponsors if they rarely come, but like, I'm just being realistic. It's like we know what the people want and we know what the people know.
Yeah. And 9 out of 10 times, there's not much at those stores anyways, or maybe a random restock or something, but it's just the general public going into those, you know, shoe stores.
So one quick segment I really want to get into is that I just brought some sneakers here. Obviously, it's a sneaker show, sneaker podcast. Obviously, we got to bring some sneakers in here.
All right, we got to
So unfortunately, Tim wasn't able to bring any because you're on the road. You didn't really bring a lot of stuff with you. So I'm actually getting into this sneaker first. This is actually a replacement box. I'm gonna let you open it.
Okay, let's see. Okay, a gem, and they're falling apart.
Yes.
Falling apart. Jordan brand. We need some Jordan 8s, bro. We need some Jordan 8s.
That's the Jordan 8 Aqua released in 2007. And that's definitely was one of my favorite sneakers, but unfortunately it did break on me when I was in the barbershop. And what I would say is, I'm going to say that whole, I own a lot of sneakers. Look how old my sneakers are. They're older than you. That's just for the birds. I felt like a dub walking around with a broken sneaker.
That was talking to you?
Yeah, man. I just felt weird. So, and the only reason I didn't throw them out because eventually, if I had some like disposable money, I want to like bring back life to them. Maybe midsole swap them. And another reason too is that why I love that sneaker is because it's way better than the 2013 release or 2014, whichever what year it came out. It didn't have all that glitter shit on it, and it's like it's just. I just feel like they did that shoe so perfect.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I wasn't fortunate to own this pair. I owned the Bugs Bunny 8. I think they came in the countdont pack.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
8.
I can see the shit breaking apart.
Stuff's flaking off of this. But, I mean, to go based off of this, like, I own a pair of OG DMP 6s that are, same thing's happening. Midsole's crumbling, you know, pull tabs are coming off. And I just can't get rid of the shoe because it just was, like, one of my favorite shoes that I had in my collection. And, I mean, I've seen a lot of cool things being done with like mess up sneakers, destroyed sneakers. Like even if you don't do the midsole swap, like I've seen people make like wallets out of it. I mean, I don't know if you make it. I mean, it's gonna take a little craftsmanship and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Send it away to somebody.
Send it to Big A Customs.
Yeah, exactly. And they make like a little wallet out of here. They cut out the squares right here. They repurpose it. Maybe make an Apple Watch band out the strap or something like that.
You blow my mind right now. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah, you customize it. And even if maybe you get some creativity and just do it and just like repurpose the tongue in some cool way, make something cool out of it if you don't eventually do the midsole swap.
Oh, shoot. So
that'd be fire.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Damn, this is such a good sneaker.
It's a beautiful sneaker. And I mean, I think Jordan Brand like kind of gives us like, I mean, obviously it's not, Jordan 8s are popular in like for the sneaker culture. I mean, like the deep-rooted sneaker culture, Jordan 8s or something, but the fact that we get an 8 maybe like, what, every 3-4 years?
Yeah, that's something that they're kind of a little bit more sacred. But then again, the Jordan 8 is not one of the most like requested silhouettes. It's more for the OGs. But getting actually into the next sneaker, I'm going to let you open it. And that's definitely, as you can just tell by the box, it's definitely a conversation starter.
All right, so we got the 700 Yeezy, the Wave Runner, the original dad shoe that started this hype.
Yes.
Sat on Yeezy Supply for a couple of days when they had the pre-orders. No one wanted this pair right here. And obviously all the drama with Kanye and Adidas.
Yeah.
There's a lot to say about this shoe.
What I say with that sneaker is that I remember when, first of all, how the shoe was introduced to the sneaker game. It was introduced like, all right, so this is going to be a pre-order. You can get a pair if you like, but it's going to be $300 and it's going to take about 3 months to get to your house. So everyone's like, okay, who the hell releases sneakers like this? So I remember working at Foot Action. A dude actually wore them in the store. And then I was like, oh, sure, those are new Yeezys. And then the first thing he says, man, I freaking hate these shits. These shits is ugly as hell. Then I don't know how. I think maybe Kanye heard about the backlash and then started busting crazy fits with that sneaker. This is when like Kanye started to get into his like Yeezy Gap wear. So he was wearing more like solid colors. And then he kind of made sweatpants look cooler. And I just felt like that shoe right there started a whole new wave. And I just feel like brands like Balenciaga, Adidas in general, and then you have that. I even think that shoe made K-Swisses a lot more popular too.
I mean, yeah, it definitely did take inspiration from like those earlier 90s, early 2000s, you know, bulkier shoes. But just even the colorway on here, like when you think about it, like just imagine you go into like a brand meeting and you're like, hey, I'm going to do 2 shades of gray, black, blue, green, lime green, orange on one shoe. You're like, what? Like, but for some reason, the colors just flow. And it looks so good on feet. I think this shoe is one of those shoes that, I mean, I think it looks beautiful in hand, but even better on feet for some reason. You look down and you see it. I think it looks good. Comfort-wise is amazing too. It's a great shoe. I don't know. I think it's probably one of the best Adidas Yeezys to come
I think it's
out.
one of the best sneakers ever made, in my opinion.
One of the best? Oh, okay. You going there? Okay.
I'll go there.
You're going there. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Gary said it.
It's one of the best
sneakers ever made. I mean, yeah, it's definitely up there. It's fire. It's a beautiful shoe.
So one thing we definitely have in common, we both love YouTube.
Okay.
We both have sneaker channels on YouTube, clearly.
Yes.
And what I would say is like, what do you think the current state of SKEAKER-TUBE is like today? If you even use that term, SKEAKER-TUBE. I heard someone say it, and it kind of fits the culture pretty well.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about SKEAKER-TUBE today?
SKEAKER-TUBE is, I would definitely say, catering to newer audience. Like, definitely, like, if you buy 10,000 Panda Dunks, your video is probably going to go more viral than you getting a pair of, Red Octobers, maybe, And
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, the value is crazy out there. Or, like, getting a rare SB Dunk, like getting a Freddy Krueger or a Paris or something crazy like a SB Dunk, Definitely tuned into, like, the newer sneakerheads. Definitely not pushing the older sneakerheads out, because there are definitely like some of like Fomer Simpson, for instance. Like I feel like he's been on YouTube for quite some time, and I know Bullet RC is one of your favorite guys too.
He's my favorite YouTuber ever.
Yeah, I mean he's nasty with it, with the edits, with the videos, but definitely catering to like new sneaker culture, whether that's like mystery boxes or talking about like sneaker drama, stuff like that. I think that's more of it than actually talking about maybe what you like or something that maybe means more to you.
I think I'm gonna be blatantly honest. I think SKEAKER-TUBE got corny.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely say that.
What I say is like the reason why I say it got corny is because I feel like SKEAKER-TUBE today, to get like views and likes, we kind of have to dumb down our like, how can I say it? We have to dumb down our creativity to make it, for some reason, because I feel like dumbed down creativity gets a lot of views. Because a lot of the stuff we kind of have to cater to. We have to do voiceovers. We have to do the TikTok videos. And we're kind of like the fast era. I remember when it's like someone made a whole sneaker, just a sneaker review, puts it out, then people just consume it. Nowadays, it's like, you can't even do that anymore. How does a person that's usually like the tools to get into SKEAKER-TUBE is buy a sneaker, talk about it.
Yeah.
But who the hell cares when someone freaking did that review 5 months ahead of release?
That's early pairs. That's the game.
And where are these early pairs coming from? No one has ever answered this question.
Private selection, early birds. Where is your plug? They have to be doing overseas, or getting through some type of crazy connect through Nike factories or something like that. But yeah, some of these guys got pairs 6 months in advance. Some of these guys got pairs that never released, like Travis's, like the purple pairs of the 4s, different variations of it and stuff like that, rare stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's if you're not first, you're last, basically. So like the first person to put out the dunks for the the first person to put out the review for the 2023 cherries. Like that video is gonna go crazy.
It's gonna go crazy.
And then everybody else after that is just gonna have to pick up the scraps. Work with title, work with boosting this, that, making short form content.
Unless like you have like a core audience, like you have like the Fulmer Simpsons, you have the Bold RC, the Tony D. Two Wells, the Kais Omars, the Private Selections, Seth Fowler, and I remember you even had like the OGs back in the day, man. Like I would say 2012 was such prime SKEAKER-TUBE. Where I would be on YouTube all day, didn't even realize it. Because you had, I don't know if you remember, like Dubstep, Slap 415. He was a guy that he basically was known for by getting like 2 to 3 pairs of like all the heat shoes you can imagine.
Oh, so he was like the early plug. He was the early birds.
Then you had freaking Sneaker Addict. I don't know if you remember that guy.
Kind of.
He's the dude said, hey, bird's eye view.
I do remember some videos like that. I wasn't too heavy into SKEAKER-TUBE then. I was just trying to get into building my sneaker collection at the time.
Got it.
And I think I made my first video around 2012, 2011, talking about my collection, but not so much just doing it for like, hey, the boys were over, we had a camera. Let's talk about my sneaker collection. Let's put it up. I didn't know what I was doing whatsoever, and I wasn't researching at the time. But I have seen a couple of them, but not like a detail like that. Like I don't know their full like names and stuff like that. Just maybe their face.
I think like some of the, cause I realized I'm really trying to control my algorithm because one time is say if your wife goes on your phone and then she wants to watch one video, your algorithm is changed. Next thing you're seeing makeup tutorials, workout videos, and she clicked on 2 videos. Yep. That's why I told my girlfriend, go on YouTube on your phone.
Get off of my algorithm. I don't want to see James Charles right now.
Literally. So my favorite YouTubers that I watch today is like obviously the Bullet RC. You have Tony D. As far as like sneaker related, you even have I love the Sneak City.
Okay.
Cool Kicks, I haven't been watching them as much lately because they're trying to like change their content, which I don't blame them because everyone like needs growth eventually.
Yeah.
Damn, you have Private Selection that I watch.
Urban Necessities puts out long form content, which was cool. I like.
Which I'm not mad at. You have people like damn, there's so much people. One dude I actually just followed, Drew Joyner. He's more into like the fashion content.
Okay.
And then you have the Star Life. I've been loving his content. And then you have freaking Paul Cantu.
Yep, it's thrifting and traveling the U.S. Just going to different thrift stores.
It's so like, I don't know, man. Just, even though I do love SKEAKER-TUBE regardless, but I just feel like we're getting in that lane where it's like we're dumbing down our creativity.
I can definitely see it. Like even when I put out like a YouTube short or a TikTok short, it's just, hey guys, the name of the shoe, the release date. I think it's cool. What do you guys think?
Literally, so I'm actually glad you brought that up. Like as like the last topic I had is like how important is like shorts and clips today in our culture. Not even just sneakers and just in general.
I mean, we definitely changed to like a clip culture. You could definitely see like, I mean, I don't know how many people follow, but like all the TikTok stuff and like they had like the Andrew Tate stuff or this stuff, just clipping, podcasts. Podcasts have grown so much because of the clips. You might have a 3-hour-long podcast, but if you clip 10 seconds, the people are going to tune into that podcast just to watch that 10 seconds. So it might, they might consume the whole 3 hours just because they saw a 10-second, clip. So clip culture has grown crazy, and that's something that I've been working on a lot, like on TikTok and Instagram and just YouTube Shorts, because they started paying YouTube Short creators now. They were monetizing it a little bit in the past, but I don't know if you were actually getting that. I mean, it was pennies at the time, but
because you got monetized off clips, right?
Yes, I'm monetized off of clips now, and just YouTube in general. So I've been growing that. So I know they say it's faster to grow like followings through the shorts. Like basically they follow you like more times than watching a full video. But I've just been trying to get that. I've been trying to test out different things, long form content, short form content, going live, podcast styles, vlog styles, sit in my room styles, stuff like that. I've been trying to test out and definitely find my niche, my core audience. So something I've been looking forward to.
Yeah, bro. And once again, I would have to say, like, bro, like, I really appreciate you, man, because I remember I hit you up not too long ago. It's like, yo, Tim, like, I was just like, I'm so inspired every time I see you, like, post up your videos, you do your short clips. And I know, like, pushing out content, especially at the rate you're doing it, is, like, on a different level of difficult. Like, fam, this man vlogged his child being born. Like,
I was doing 6 months straight, so I had to put up a video for that day. I was like, I'm in the hospital, baby's born, let's go.
Did he get a lot of views?
Content tomorrow. I mean, honestly, like, I have a relatively smaller channel. I know people just say, don't say you have a small channel, but I have a relatively smaller channel. So, I mean, for my channel, you know, close to 1,000 views. I mean, I had around maybe 1,200 followers at the time, or subscribers at the time.
If you have 1,000 views, those are 2,000 eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I was just putting out consistent, and I definitely did see a lot of growth during that consistency wave where I was going every single day. The audience definitely does expect something to be dropped. And just networking, that's what I've been doing. That's why, that was one of the things I wanted to move to Atlanta, was to network with a lot of YouTube creators. So,
Literally, man.
I'm really happy about that.
Literally, Tim, once again, I want to say I appreciate you for coming on the show.
Of course.
I've been a fan of your work. I love your consistency.
Thank you, man.
Because, like, especially you're one of the reasons why I'm like, yo, I need to get back into my sneaker shit. So I'm like, and I hated doing content in my room, because even though you do a lot of content in your room, but you actually have a good background. You have the sneakers. It's very presentable. Yeah. I don't want to do a freaking video where I have, like, my computer in the back and I have my TV at my bed showing, and it's literally not aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, I definitely understand it. You know, and you put out crazy content too when I was watching your stuff too. Definitely the thrifting stuff and all that stuff, the outfit checks. I love how when you put your pants together, how they look with different pants. So kudos to you too, bro.
Thank you. I needed that.
I got you, bro. Of course, bro. We all need that sometimes. We all do.
Exactly, man. So once again, where can the people find you? Because I know you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok.
TikTok and YouTube is going to be TA Vlogs _. On Instagram, it's the real TA Vlogs. Usually, if you just type in TA Vlogs and you look for something sneaker related, you're going to find me. But TA Vlogs _ because somebody has TA Vlogs normal and won't give it up. I've messaged them and they just won't respond to me. And they don't put out any content, so.
That
sucks.
Yeah. I hear that, man. But as you guys can find me at In Gary We Trust. Remember, I do have a second podcast. These are the Aesthetics Podcast. This has been Sneaker Convo. I appreciate you guys for welcoming me back here. And I don't know what to do with my hands right now. So I'm going to say peace.
Hit him with the wealthy. Peace.